I'm going to show you the de Havilland Mosquito which I built out of styrofoam. All this effort has been done towards this. This has taken me about 22 days to build, and there couldn't have been a better way to spend my time. So let me give you a brief picture into what we have built here. So starting off, so the tail plane and the fin and the rudder assembly. This, which I show you now here, it's made out of the tracking styrofoam, which was very conveniently flattened out, and I drew these shapes on the cutout, making cutouts so that I could mill this. And the rudder has been attached on the fin using some salvaged hinges. The tail, of course, is elevator has been fixed to the aeroplane using scotch tape, just half an inch of tape. The major difference would be that the entire tail section moves, unlike the cone is being stable, because I felt the structural integrity would be maintained if I had the entire structure in one piece. Coming to the fuselage, you may find this very funny lettering on this, which I put it as COVID, which you understand is for the COVID-19, which is making us sit at home. Yeah, one more thing on the tail. In India, we started with the lockdown on 24th of March 2020, and that's how the tail number is IN240320. Coming back to the fuselage, the aeroplane looks one piece. However, it has detachable wings. Subsequently, in my videos, I'll show you. I built the canopy using a 2-liter Kinley water bottle. I made a small mold and then used my hot air gun to build it. The grey lines that you see on the canopy is nothing but double-sided tape. After getting the required shapes, all I did was apply talcum powder on that, and the sticky surface was gone, so now it's absolutely dry. There's a bit of the nose art that you see, that if you see, I'm going to put a title as Corona Buster, and there's a sign which indicates fighting with Corona, that's how a lockdown we're doing at home. The camouflage is the World War II original camouflage sequence pattern, which is there on the internet available. Plus, it's got the D-Day marking on the belly. In case you want to know what is D-Day marking, I request you to go on to the World War II videos, which explains the significance of these tapes. To apply the various colors, I've used acrylic paint, which is water based, and the faded areas which are there, I've used mixture of the watercolors with white PVA, which is also water soluble in water. All this has been spread around in the pattern as far as possible. You may find a bit of serrations on the structure. This is because of the building, for which I had used a file or a rust file, a medium grade, and then subsequently onto final grades with sandpaper. The model also has 2000 VA motors attached, and with the electronic speed control, as you see, the wiring has been done at the bottom like this. And also the bottom has a D-Day marking with the black and white strips. Few other important things which I'll show you, which I've achieved on this aeroplane was, starting with the tail. And you see how the entire rudder control and the tail wheel steering is connected together, and I've fitted the servo which will move this tail wheel steering. As you can see, a single servo is connecting the tail wheel, steering, as well as the rudder. I can show you the rudder movement, please. The entire system goes all together. This is because my experience with the tail wheel steering has not been very good. I found that if you let the entire load be taken by the rudder for steering, many times the steer is completely lost on the tail wheel. So I've tried testing with this new kind of build. What I've used is a servo arm for the nose steer, which is normally there in the conventional aircraft, and put a L connecting the rudder, which comes out and all fixed together using this small contraption which I made for the tail wheel. And this is a different thing which I've done. Besides this, the configuration is standard for the elevator, connected by a single servo. One significant thing which I would like to tell all the builders is that one must have a few Z beds on their controls. This is because again, we are building in India and we don't get the material for adjusting your arm lengths to your convenient requirement, and I think Z system is the most convenient one, because with this you can adjust the arm length to the minutest of the correction, and most of the time it falls into place very conveniently. As you see here, the aileron is a single servo, again with a Z band and connected to the aileron control on both the wings. The servo line runs from both the wings and from the electronic speed control, which goes into the belly of the airplane. Few other things. This, if you see, is a detachable landing gear. It's just a simple U-bend, and I've made a slot, and I can just push fit this inside, and it makes an easy attachment. There's a detachable hatch on top of the motor, which I can use for adjusting my replacements, to wiring, to change of motors, everything. Another important thing which I would like to show you is the cutout which I made for the axis for the battery and the receiver. And the wiring goes into the belly and into the receiver. This is a avionics receiver costing about 1,000 rupees. It's matchbox sized. Range is excellent, and 4 channels. So there's a lot of labor and effort which has gone into building this aeroplane. I'll be sharing a lot of pictures on the build, and during the build I'll be explaining a few techniques which I've used for building this aeroplane and most of the other aeroplanes. Please enjoy watching, and hope we'll come up with a better plan or a better airplane for the next video. Thank you.